For years, you were the one who over-explained. You were the one who stayed up until 3 in the morning, rehearsing scripts in your head, trying to find the perfect combination of words that would finally make them understand your worth. You thought if you could just explain your heart clearly enough, if you could just provide enough context for your boundaries, they would finally respect them. But lately, something has died inside of you. A specific kind of anxiety has withered away, and in its place, a cold, divine stone has formed. You are setting boundaries now without uttering a single word of justification. You are walking away from tables where respect is no longer served, and you aren't even looking back to see if they noticed. Listen closely, because your body has been keeping the score of this transition. Have you noticed the sudden, heavy silence that follows you? Have you felt that strange, buzzing pressure in your chest? Not the pressure of a panic attack, but the weight of a king or queen taking their throne? This is the frequency of the unexplained boundary. You used to feel a frantic need to defend your peace. When someone crossed the line, your heart would race, your palms would sweat, and you would feel a desperate urge to fix the energy. You would talk until your throat was dry, trying to bridge the gap between their dysfunction and your sanity. But look at you now. Now, when the disrespect comes, there is only a quiet, steady no vibrating in your spirit. You are realizing that your silence is not a void, it is a fortress. You might be feeling a strange sense of isolation right now, a hollow feeling in your social circle. This is because the people who were used to your explanations are now starving for your energy. They used to feed on your defense. They loved the way you would scramble to make things right, but now as you sit in this new, quiet power, you are becoming an enigma to them. You are experiencing the physical symptoms of a spiritual upgrade. The headaches you've been having lately, that is the dismantling of the people-pleaser neural pathways. That tension in your jaw, that is the seal being placed upon your lips by the divine. You are being taught that your energy is a currency, and you have stopped giving it away for free to those who don't even know its value. Think about the last time someone tried to bait you into an argument. In the past, you would have taken the bait. You would have spent hours explaining why their comment was hurtful, why your boundary was necessary, and how you just wanted peace. But this time, you just looked at them. You might have even smiled. And then, you simply moved on. Do you feel at ease? Do you feel how much lighter your shoulders are when you don't have to carry the weight of their understanding? It is not your job to be their teacher. It is not your mission to make the blind see. You are a chosen one, and your only requirement is to stay in alignment with the light. The world calls this cold. The matrix calls this arrogant, but the spirit calls this sovereignty. You are finally understanding that every time you explain yourself to a narcissist or a toxic family member, you are leaking power. You are giving them a map of your vulnerabilities. By remaining silent, by simply withdrawing your presence when a boundary is crossed, you are becoming untouchable. You are entering the phase of the silent shift, where your life begins to change not by what you add, but by what you stop providing. You are no longer the emotional janitor of your family or your friend group. You are the architect of your own sanctuary, and the doors are now locked to anyone who brings noise into your temple. The reason this shift feels so heavy, yet so liberating, is because you are finally operating in alignment with the higher laws of the universe. You must understand that there is a spiritual mechanism to your silence. When you were over-explaining, you were unknowingly engaging in a lower density vibration known as justification. In the spiritual realm, to justify yourself is to admit that there is a higher authority over you that has the right to judge your actions. By constantly pleading your case to people who were never committed to understanding you, you were inadvertently handing over your crown. You were telling the universe that these people held the keys to your peace, but the Father has been watching, and he has been whispering to your spirit, "Be still and know that I am God." This sudden ability to set boundaries without a word is not a psychological trick. It is a divine intervention. You are currently undergoing a massive recalibration of your energetic field. Think of your energy like a radio frequency. For years, you were broadcasting on a frequency of access. You were accessible to everyone, their problems, their dramas, their projections, and their demands. This created a massive leak in your spiritual vessel. You were pouring out your holy water into cracked cisterns that could never hold it. The exhaustion you've been feeling, that deep-seated soul weariness that sleep cannot touch, was the result of this leakage. You are literally being drained by the entities attached to the people who forced you to explain yourself. Spiritually, when you explain your boundary to a person operating in a low, narcissistic frequency, you are giving them the code to bypass your security. You think you are being clear, but in the unseen realm, you are revealing your soft spots. These spirits don't want to respect your boundary. They want to find a way around it. When you stop explaining, you are effectively changing the encryption key of your soul. You are becoming unreadable to the darkness. This is why the atmosphere feels so different now. You have shifted from a state of defense to a state of dominance. In the spiritual hierarchy, the one who does not need to explain is the one who holds the power. You are being moved into a closed system of energy. The universe is pruning your life, cutting away the branches that refuse to bear fruit. This is why the arguments have stopped feeling like battles and started feeling like chores. You've realized that the person you are arguing with isn't actually the human being in front of you. It's the spirit of discord operating through them. You cannot reason with a spirit of discord. You cannot communicate your way into a narcissist's heart. Their heart is a void, and your words are just fuel for that void. By withdrawing your explanation, you are cutting off their oxygen. You are starving the demons that were feeding on your frustration. This is the frequency of ease. It is the realization that the divine does not ask for permission to move. The sun does not explain itself to the clouds before it shines. It simply occupies its space. The ocean does not apologize to the shore for its tide. It simply follows the pull of the moon. You are now following the pull of your own internal moon, your intuition. You are realizing that no is a complete sentence and a powerful prayer. When you say no and offer no further data, you are anchoring yourself in the fifth dimension. You are operating from a place where your worth is non-negotiable and your peace is a sovereign territory. This is the truth of your calling. You were never meant to fit into their world. You were meant to be the light that exposes their darkness. And sometimes the brightest light is the one that shines in total, unwavering silence. Look at the people around you and watch how they are beginning to scramble. Have you noticed the frantic energy of those who used to walk all over you? When you stopped explaining, you pulled the rug out from under their entire reality. The matrix, the system of control that operates through the people in your life, is currently in a state of panic because it can no longer predict your reactions. For years, they had a user manual for your soul. They knew exactly which buttons to press to get a reaction, which guilt trip to use to make you stay, and which accusation would force you to spend 3 hours defending your character. But now the buttons are disconnected, the wires have been cut. The narcissists, the energy vampires, and the family critics are terrified of your new silence because, to them, your silence feels like a mirror. When you don't explain yourself, they are forced to sit with their own reflection. They are used to projecting their darkness onto you and watching you carry it for them through your explanations. But now when they throw a barb and you simply set a boundary and walk away, that darkness has nowhere to go. It bounces off your energetic shield and lands right back at their feet. They are scared because they see that they have lost their power over you. They see a version of you that they cannot control, and in their world, anything they cannot control is a threat. Watch the smear campaign begin to fail. In the past, you were terrified of what they would say about you. You would over-explain your side of the story to anyone who would listen, desperate to protect your reputation. But now, as you step into the frequency of ease, you realize that the lion does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. The enemy is currently trying to provoke you. They are poking and prodding, waiting for you to slip up and start defending yourself again. They are saying things like, "You've changed," or "You're being so cold," or "I don't even know who you are anymore." What they are really saying is, "I can no longer manipulate the person you've become." They are scared of your power because your silence is a sign of ultimate self-trust. Only a person who is deeply rooted in their own truth can afford to be silent. The enemy knows that if you stop explaining your boundaries, you will eventually stop explaining your dreams, your visions, and your successes. You are becoming a dark room, a place where the divine can develop the images of your future without the interference of outside light. The narcissists in your life feel this withdrawal of energy like a physical coldness. They are used to your warmth, your empathy, and your constant striving to make things right. Now that you have withdrawn that heat, they are shivering in the reality of their own isolation. Do not be fooled by their sudden kindness or their concern. This is just another tactic to get you to open your mouth and leak your energy. They are trying to lure you back into the courtroom where they are the judge and jury. But you have walked out of the building. You have realized that you are the supreme court of your own life. The enemy's reaction is your greatest confirmation. If they were comfortable with your boundaries, those boundaries wouldn't be doing their job. Their discomfort is proof that you are finally free. Their anger is the evidence of your strength. Every time they try to bait you and you respond with a calm, unexplained distance, you are winning a battle in the spiritual realm that you used to lose every single day. Feel the power in that. Feel the ease of letting them be wrong about you. The truth behind this shift is deeper than simple psychology. It is the manifestation of a divine decree over your life. You must understand that you are currently entering a Sabbath season, a period of time where the universe is demanding that you cease your labor. For decades, your labor was the emotional work of maintaining connections with people who were spiritually incompatible with your destiny. You were working overtime to build bridges to people who were secretly praying for your downfall. The law of divine compensation is now stepping in. Because you have finally stopped trying to be the savior of those who do not want to be saved, the universe is beginning to redirect that massive amount of wasted energy back into your own manifestations. There is a specific prophecy written in the stars for the chosen one who masters the art of the unexplained boundary. It is the prophecy of the sealed fountain. In ancient spiritual texts, the fountain represents your creative and life force energy. When you explain yourself to the ungodly or the toxic, you are leaving your fountain uncovered, allowing the dust and debris of their low vibrations to pollute your water. By closing your mouth and setting your boundaries in stone, you are sealing your fountain. This is why you are starting to see random blessings appear. This is why your skin is clearing, your sleep is becoming deeper, and your clarity is returning. You are no longer being polluted by the need for external validation. You have realized that the only witness you need for your integrity is the Creator. The theological reality of your situation is that you are being trained for a higher level of authority. Think of a high-ranking official or a monarch. They do not argue. They do not explain why a law is a law. They simply issue the decree, and the atmosphere must obey. You are being moved from the position of a servant to the position of a steward. A servant explains their actions to their master, but a steward simply manages the estate. Your life is the estate, and your boundaries are the fences. You do not owe the trespasser an explanation of why the fence is there. The presence of the fence is the explanation. The divine is teaching you that your yes and your no carry the weight of heaven. When you align your boundaries with the truth of your spirit, the universe backs you up with its full legion of protection. We must speak of the law of frequency resonance. In the matrix, communication is used to control and manipulate. In the kingdom, communication is used to create and bless. By refusing to engage in the lower level communication of defending your boundaries, you are vibrating out of the reach of the enemy. You are moving into a frequency where their accusations can no longer find you. It's like a plane flying above a storm. The lightning is real, the thunder is loud, but it cannot touch the wings of the one who has reached the higher altitude. Your ease is the result of this altitude. You are no longer fighting for air. You are breathing the thin, pure oxygen of the divine. This is the plan that has been in place since before you were born. You were allowed to experience the pain of over-explaining, the agony of being misunderstood, and the exhaustion of people-pleasing so that you would eventually develop a hunger for this specific kind of holy silence. You had to get tired of your own voice begging for respect before you could appreciate the power of your own silence commanding it. You are not losing yourself or becoming mean. You are simply coming into the fullness of your stature. You are finally becoming the person the universe can trust with real power because you have proven that you no longer need the world to agree with you. You are anchored in the truth, and the truth does not need a PR team. Now it is time to ground this power into your physical reality. You have heard the truth, you have felt the shift, and now you must seal the frequency. This ease you are feeling is not a fleeting emotion, it is your new permanent residence. To maintain this, you must practice the divine withdrawal. When you feel that old familiar itch to explain yourself, when someone looks at you with that calculated confusion or throws a passive-aggressive comment your way, take a deep breath. Feel the air enter your lungs and remember that this breath was given to you by the Creator, not by the person standing in front of you. You do not owe a divine gift to a profane spirit. Your silence is the seal on your sovereignty. I want you to visualize a golden perimeter surrounding your entire being. This is your sanctuary. Anyone who wishes to enter must have a frequency that matches yours. If they bring chaos, if they bring entitlement, If they bring the spirit of explanation seeking, they hit the wall. You don't have to push them away. The frequency of your boundary will do the work for you. From this day forward, your mantra is, "My peace is not up for debate." Repeat that in the quiet of your mind whenever the world tries to lure you back into the basement of justification. You are living in the penthouse of your power now, and the elevator only goes up. Let us seal this energy with a declaration of authority. Speak these words over your life, whether aloud or in the sanctuary of your heart. I am a chosen one, a child of the Most High. I renounce the spirit of people-pleasing and the heavy burden of over-explanation. I reclaim my energy from every person, every system, and every memory that sought to make me small. My boundaries are divinely inspired and heaven-protected. I do not justify my peace, I inhabit it. I do not explain my worth, I embody it. Every leak in my spirit is now closed. Every fragment of my power is now returned. I walk in the ease of the divine, knowing that my silence is my strength and my presence is my power. It is finished. It is sealed. It is so. Feel the weight of those words settling into your bones. Notice how the atmosphere in your room feels thicker, more intentional. You have just recoded your reality. You are no longer the person who begs to be understood. You are the mystery that demands respect. As you move forward through your day, do not be surprised if people act differently around you. Some will flee in fear because they can no longer find a foothold in your spirit. Let them go. Others will be drawn to your stillness like a moth to a flame. Guard that flame. You are the gatekeeper of your own anointing, and you are doing a magnificent job. If this message has resonated with your soul, if you felt the literal shift in your chest as we spoke, then you know this was directed specifically to you. The divine does not make mistakes in timing. You were meant to hear this at the exact moment you were ready to stop explaining and start existing. Claim this shift. Type "I am secure" in the comments to anchor this frequency into the physical realm. Subscribe to this frequency and join the collective of the chosen who are rising in silence. Go forth in peace, go forth in power, and most importantly, go forth in the absolute ease of your own divine sovereignty. You are free, you are whole, and you are finally, beautifully silent.